ECCSC live on YouTube. Tyrone Muhammad live on YouTube and Facebook live as well. Tyrone Muhammad on Facebook and Tyrone Muhammad on YouTube as well. Um, let's let the people come in. A few more people come in before I get started. And I would like to just discuss a few issues, mainly three, but for the most part, the corona, period. Where we at, what that looks like for us as a people, how we moving, and once again, and go to my YouTube channel and share the live, people, please. Go to my YouTube channel. I posted it as well. Tyrone Muhammad YouTube channel. The link is on there. And share the live. ECCSC, of course, ex-cons for community and social change. How you doing, Denise? Sudan, Rice, Wendy Hughes, Farida, how you doing? Assalamu alaikum. Toshio Muhammad, okay. Daisha Davis, Damian Muhammad. How y'all doing? Please share the live. Let's have a discussion. Please, once we get going as well, I would like some questions. Sister Kimberly Corley, great sister, always fighting. Keep up the good work. All right, here we go. All right, first of all, I just like to just send my prayers out to the families, that's been sick. St. Paul, Chicago. Just sending our prayers and blessings out to those people affected by the coronavirus. And it's like this, just doing the Fatiha and everything. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Ar-Rahmanir Rahim. Maliki yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Ihdina siratal mustaqim. Siratal ladzina an'amta alayhim. Ghayril maghdubi alayhim waladdallin. In the name of God, the beneficent, the most merciful, all praise is due to God, the Lord of the worlds, the beneficent, the merciful, Master of the day of judgment. Thee alone do we serve, thine aid we seek. Guide us on the right path, the path of those upon whom thou hast bestowed thine favor, not the path of those upon whom thy wrath is brought down, nor of those who go astray. This time we're living in is a time of God. This time we're living in is a time of unity. This time that we're living in is a time of self-reflection and progress. But at the end of the day, we should look after one another. We should be there for one another. Really, I'm telling you, this is a serious time. And also, we should follow instructions. We should follow instructions to be safe. Although I've been out there in the communities, I think I've been pretty safe in my efforts to help a few of the elderly people that I've come in contact with, and just getting out supplies and mobilizing and really plan for the day, so that when after this virus is done, we're still able to properly get going and start moving again. Especially as people who have limited resources, we have to be ready to hit the ground running once this is done, to reestablish ourselves in the community and our households. So let me see who's online real quick. Okay, how y'all doing, people? Please share the live. But another thing I want to talk about real quick is the violence. Although we're dealing with this issue of corona, the violence hasn't stopped in our city. While everybody's going to sleep talking about corona, I keep saying this, and I've said it over and over and over, that violence need a job. It's not going to get less violent when there's no resource. It might even increase, people, because now I want to advise you sisters out there, and men, advise your daughters, your wives, your grandmamas, your aunties, to be very careful in this hour coming in and out of their homes, because there's been several incidents with these young men robbing women, robbing people. There's even the incident of someone getting shot up 17, 18 times as a result of them robbing somebody, and they followed them back to the house. So I'm telling you, please be careful, women out there. This is a time of great need, want, um, anxiety, grief. People are losing their jobs. People don't have resources. This so-called stimulus package is not coming into our communities fast enough. And these young men are acting out. They've been acting out, but now it's even worse because the little hustles that once was involved with has diminished. Now people are starting to prey on innocent women and children. So be careful. Be very careful when you're moving about in the city, because now is a perfect opportunity to become a victim. But let's watch out for one another. So violence never ends in Chicago. So at the end of the day, ECCSC and those contributors or collaborators, we still saying that violence need a job, and that once this is over, Chicago will still be one of the most violent cities. So those efforts never stop, regardless of corona or any other virus or disease. Those efforts never stop on our part. We have to keep pushing, making connections, making inroads, brothers and sisters, to help curb the gang, drugs, and violence. You know, the beef that the young men are having, as well as whatever else that is that they're doing, that ultimately turns into gunplay, pistol play, murder, opportunities. I'm not gonna keep on this live long, because I want to be able to constantly come back through updates and conversations and just answer some of the questions that the people may convey. Please give me a question or answer if you have a question that I can answer and share with the people. But anyway, opportunities. I see this as a great opportunity. I don't see this as a curse. I see this as a blessing. In fact, I see so many people coming together doing great things for one another since this coronavirus happened. I see opportunity in that. Now we must realize that it's going to take us to save us. If we didn't realize it before, I hope that we realize it now. We have to, as Black men, I'm telling y'all that's out there looking, when we talk about communities in our neighborhoods, man, we are not business owners. We need to be figuring out how to create millionaires in our communities, so that when stuff like this happen, we readily available. We are our own army. We are our own humanitarian efforts and aids. We have a warehouse, a stockpile of food and shelter to put our women and children in, man. We can't wait till an incident, a virus, or whatever happen, or a major issue happen before we start, shall I say, maneuvering into a position of substance and maintaining order in our community. As we already know, we don't have order. So when stuff like this happen, then we're looking for others to do for us what we're more than capable of doing for ourselves. And we should have been doing for ourselves, period. So with that being said, we have to create millionaires after this is over with. Let me give you an example. With all that is going on, with everything that's going on right now out here with this virus, construction hasn't stopped. The governor said it's essential. Construction is essential to development and progress. They still downtown building structures. They're more concerned about building structures than they are by maintaining the structures of human beings. human homes, households, human communities. That's very serious. Let me show you why that's very serious, people. This tell you their focus. This tell you where they're at. When you look at the vacant lots and all of the dilapidated housing in our neighborhoods, they be erecting high rises for the rich downtown, while communities lay dormant, disenfranchised. The blight is ever increasing. And what's happening is those construction companies, like the Sneeders and all the ones who doing modular homes and those unions pushing this training program so they can tap into these training dollars that they benefit from. And then they think that they will be able to build in our communities, people. Trust me, when they run out of downtown, they're going to be trying to build 3 flats, 6 flats, mixed use, multiple use apartment complexes in our neighborhoods. Remember, we won't be the owners of those buildings. So with that being said, we have to come out of this thing saying that we're controlling our communities, the billions upon billions that will be spent to develop the neighborhood, these vacant lots in these homes in our community. Our sons should be the ones given the opportunity to train, to learn how to build and develop in their own community. Understand this, right now on major developments downtown, there are no minority contractors. Hear what I'm telling you. Major companies downtown, there are no minority contractors on those sites. None. There's not even 30% minority contractors on the site. So when they come in our neighborhood to build, they not only they have 80 to 90% even in our neighborhoods, and we can't even get 30% downtown. So all I'm saying to you is that we have to be mindful and ever watchful of what's going on, because it was like this 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago. It was like 40 something deaths nationally from the coronavirus. It was like 40 something deaths nationally. At any given month, we have 50 some murders. When it affects white folks, they gave out trillions. They had already allotted trillions to be allocated for 40 something deaths nationally. We have 50 deaths in the month. We have 40 something deaths in the 1 month in Chicago, and we don't even get 100 million towards reducing that. I'm telling you, people, we have to understand what's going on and who priority is. If we don't make it a priority that murders are just as important, we've always been involved with a virus. It had always been a virus in our community, and it's called black on black murders, crime. That's the biggest virus that's been happening continuously every year, with 500 to 600 to 800 murders every year. We've always had a virus. Our 20-something aldermen, all these black elected officials, state reps, Congress people, and all the city officials are ran by mostly black people, and no one has made a major push or concern as it relates to reducing the violence and the murders. They'll tap into every doctor, scientist, and every opinion to stop this coronavirus, but you won't even tap into the very people who had a hand in producing violence and bloodshed in these communities. I'm telling you, we have to take a different approach. We have to stand different. We have to move different the moment this thing let up, because we have to control our neighborhood. Here we are, our women are going to stores where you have Arabs testing positive for coronavirus. These local stores still open, selling liquor, selling garbage to our people. We have to realize that there must be a respect created. There must be business and commerce created. We have to figure out how to get control of our communities, even if it's one man at a time to do it. We have to be, if it's one at a time, we have to build that base. Okay. I just can't wait to get this stuff over with and pass us so I can get ready to build this ECCSC center that's going to deal with reentry, prison reform, social justice, mental health, manhood training, behavior modification therapy, job, workforce development, a center where we come together to congregate on policies and things of that nature. So we bought the land, we own the land. Now I want to erect the structure. I put the building up that we intend to build on that structure once it's done. It's like, do we go into grabbing a building and rehabbing it when we could just build it new and build it and build it cheaper? So I'll be doing a major fundraiser to get it done and reaching out to various people and doing all that I can on my end to get this building erected, because prison reform is real. Social justice is real. We need a center where we can come with 21,000 to 30,000 formerly incarcerated men coming back to Chicago every year from these prisons. We have a major voting block with these brothers. If they can only realize their power, their potential, the ex-con has more votes than the LGBTQ community and will have more votes than the church-going folks and anybody else. I'm telling you, when we organize this properly, we'll be able to change and flip these wards. These wards would be flipped, and we put the people in those wards in the community that will best serve our interests, man. We can't continue to be zoned out of our own neighborhood. We can't continue to be licensed by these bogus slumlord type businesses and slumlord type landlords that raise the rent, that actually practice gentrification and the likes. So let's get it, people. Let's go. Let me see some of these questions. Your diligence, your black ethics, facts. Come on, somebody. Just trying to Donald Washington, my man. That's ridiculous. Stop giving out all to these churches. See, y'all know how I feel about these churches anyway. I hope that we can shine light or shed light on them enough to say that the reason our communities are the way they are is because of pastors and politicians. Pastors and politicians has historically sold our communities out to the highest bidder. We've constantly allowed them to do that. We allow them to do that, and we still, mostly women, continue to support these institutions that gives nothing back to the community. Wherever there's a church, there's dilapidation, there's disorder, there's immorality. That's all that in the area of that church. That church don't filter out and correct anything. Everything is in, nothing is out. Jesus wasn't about staying in no church. Jesus wasn't about talking and just preaching. He was about getting out there and going to the highways and the byways, sitting on the corner with the pimps, the hustlers, the thieves. That's your Jesus. I don't know which one you're following in the church, but he's not serving the community. So with that being said, I don't want to hop on these churches. I hope to be able to transform them, to use them as an ally to allow us to save our sons and daughters. At the end of the day, Black death is a hustle. At the end of the day, the only thing young Black men and young ladies have to look forward to nowadays seem to be is prisons and graveyards. And in fact, our sisters are being locked up at a rate equal or greater than in terms of population than men. Women need assistance as well. We need to build our vanguard and build that women group of ECCSC for the returning women that's coming home from prison. We got to get it going. We got to push these efforts in the agenda. And we have to ensure and make sure that our legislators and our policy makers know that the right people need to receive the resources to do the service, man. Whether they give me anything or not, I'm going to keep doing what I do. But in order for us to be effective, we can't continue to have white men in positions of authority as our saviors. You give all the resources to these groups, these white heads, while the Black men who actually have the experience and actually have the idea and as a tactic and a technique by which to transform some things are unable to do so because the resources aren't they not ready available. The resources aren't available for them to execute and access the same coffers that those individuals access because of their politics. So this is nothing new. I've spoken about this before, but at the end of the day, this season, this time is right. We've always had nothing. So when we sit back and I examine this as someone who served 20 years in prison, I've just come out of isolation. So this is nothing to me. In this, even in this just gives you an opportunity to reflect, put your stuff together, and then be able to execute a little better. Unify, collaborate with like-minded individuals, and eliminate the people and those ones and those individuals that don't think like you, don't believe like you, don't give back like you. I'm telling you, that's what time it is. It's weed and tear. That's what this is. This is a weed and tear. Is God saying, listen, wake up. You sat back there. We sat back there and we chasing after monies and dollars while our hearts and our minds and our communities go to hell. And even those people that come from those communities don't come back to give back. They leave, they become these individuals, they go off to college, they get their good jobs, they never come back to give back to that from which they came. So that's all I'm saying. We have to figure it out, determine what it's going to take, and be about the business of building our resources, our community. We have to build resources. You can't get around it. Economics is everything. You can't build an army without economics. You can't build schools and hospitals without economics. You can't build farmland and agriculture without economics. You can't buy a tractor, a combine. You can't even buy seeds to plant. We have to figure out what that looks like. And those brothers and sisters that's on the front line, we have to continue to give them the support. Give them the support they need to keep fighting for you. These are our tax dollars. And at some point, we have to get into the business of resurrecting ourselves from the conditions that was created for centuries. Lastly but not least, voters registration. As someone who's a part of a formerly incarcerated ex-con organization, my goal when we come off of this coronavirus is to build at least 50 to 100 voters registrars from the ex-felons, from the ex-cons, from the returned citizen, whatever you want to call yourself. We're going to give our vote a voice. We're going to start in all these wards, mainly the wards that we come back into after coming from that prison industrial complex. We're going to start mobilizing the vote. We're going to show these aldermen, I call them wardens, because they're over wards and our communities are like prisons. These people act as wardens over our communities, which are prisons. I don't call them aldermen. There's very few aldermen that I would refer to as aldermen. They over wards, then they're wardens. They're incarcerating our communities to foreigners and foreign business practices. They incarcerate our community to the highest bidder. They've sold our community out to unions and construction magnates, and we are left with nothing but the prisons and the graveyards. I call them wardens because they're over wards. So let's start transforming. 500 to 600 vote in each ward would change these wardens. We would change these wardens and put in a new alderman. We would change these wardens and put in a new alderman that will represent our best interest, the people interest. It's time, man. It's been time. This is no joke. This is a great opportunity for me. This is a great time. I don't see it the way you all. I hope y'all see it that way. It's a great opportunity for us to start mobilizing. See, I'm able to talk to and reach out to more people by me being still. Now I get the meaningful relationships, and then everything else will come as a result of our constant outreach. But let me see a few more questions. I love your personality spirit, and you are definitely for our people. Thank you, bro. Um, you say I'm just reading some of this message, and then telling what is being done. The black community regarding really, sister. That's Rashun McLean. I don't know. I don't see it. I don't see no major mobilization, sister. I don't see what's happening. I just see a bunch of there's a lot. I'm just looking to see how the testing is gonna be met out, because there's not enough test kits. Even if you wanted to get tested, you probably couldn't. If we wanted all to get tested, we probably couldn't, because we're so far behind the eight ball on this. So all I could just say is, man, listen, wash our hands, as they constantly say. Um, Practice social distancing. Um, you have to move about, wear masks and gloves. Um, but just stay out of crowds. That's the best thing I can say as it relates to the information we've all received. But as far as I'm still waiting on these people who have donated money or said they have donated money for that to start trickling down, so that the people can start paying bills or even buying food. Not necessarily paying bills. I don't know if that's even an issue right now, but making sure that the less fortunate have food in their homes. I'm looking for these churches to be more about creating food pantries, and instead of you putting money in their coffers and their golden plates for their own personal use. I will hope that they will be creating an opportunity, a way for their parishioners and even to serve the community. So that's what I'm looking for. Let's see. What's up, T.O. Hardeman, my man? We must keep fighting, no doubt, T.O. Man. We got to get this violence prevention thing going, and we need those funds so that we can save our sons and our community before this summer hit. I think ECCS Center, male, female center, would be a true blessing. Denise, I got the land. If you go on my Facebook timeline, you'll see I posted the image of the building, the rendering that we want to have of the ECCSC Center. I'm talking about we're going to have 4 stories and even commercial space where we can put a coffee shop, sandwich shop, and different stuff like that for all ex-felons to be worked, for all the ex-felons to work. That's my goal, is to hire all ex-cons to work and train them into a business and being professionals and servants. That's our motto, community servants. So I would like to be able to do that and raise that money. I'm gonna do a GoFundMe as well, and work on it. So yes, gatekeepers. He said yes, wardens, gatekeepers for the old order. No question about it. That's the whole objective, is to remove gatekeepers, remove these old wardens from our wards, and put in the right leadership. I couldn't run for alderman because I would have to sue the city. I would have to sue the state, because they put in a clause, the city council, some type of clause that said if you was a formerly incarcerated, you can't be an alderman. They put in something, y'all look it up. I can't run for alderman, but I can run for president. I can run for state rep. I can run for Congress. I can run for all the other office, but I can't run for alderman. Now, the lowest position in the country, I can't run for alderman because it's local. See, all politics is local, people. Don't forget that. Stop looking towards the presidency. Look at your local city councilmen, committeemen, your local warden, your alderman. Look at your local ward. That's where the power at. These are the people who allow zoning and rights, that allow these businesses to set up. Every time I roll in on a business, guess what they do? They say, well, the alderman, we gave the alderman this. We gave the alderman money. I said, what's the community benefit in this store being open? What's the community benefit in you opening another liquor store to further demoralize our community? What is it? Come on now. What's the reason for this? The alderman let us do it. We talked to the alderman. We had meetings. We gave money to the campaign. They have the nerve to say that out loud. That just shows you they don't even respect us, nor do they don't know who they talking to. Because if I know that you telling me that, that's more ammunition for me to go even harder at removing these clowns because they don't serve us. They serve the almighty dollar. And that's clear. That's why right now you will bail out trillions of dollars will be used to bail out businesses. But the people will starve, man, before the government treat them the same. Who else? What else? What else? Salam, brother. Uh, Stay out of the crowd. Stay safe. Right. I seen it's nice. Also, my brother. Thank you, Joanne Thompson. That's my goal. Teach those of us that can run for alderman how to do it. No doubt, sister. Let me get this off here. No doubt. Salon Ismail Court, Andy, that's awesome, brother. No man or woman left behind where they come from. That's right, everybody. So with that being said, I'm gonna close out. I hope to do this at least once or twice because as these days move on, I'm out here in these streets. I'm gonna be out here. What's up, Duntel? I'm gonna be out here in these streets and pushing. So I mean, I just want to keep us updated and keep us inspired. Remember, this is not a problem. This is a blessing. We've been born without nothing. We've been born without nothing. And you're going to die without nothing. I got news for you people. All you have is your character. All you have is what you leave behind. All you have is what you develop, the relationship, the love. All you have is your legacy. Because I've never met a rich man who died, no matter how many billions he had, that he was able to take the billions to the grave with him. Nor does the billions matter on the other side. Whatever that is and whatever that looks like, wherever it is and whatever it looks like. People build human character. People ask why I fight the way I fight. If it was about money, I'd have sold out a long time ago and have been done. Because so many people have told me, man, move on, do your thing. You just come home. Stop fighting for the ignorant people who don't want to fight for themselves. Well, people, my fight is for the ignorant. I was born to fight for the ignorant. That's my motivation. That's all I sat in those cells in that 9x12 washroom for 2 decades, thinking about how I can best serve my community. You can't get this. You can't do what I do and you don't reflect deeply on what it is that you're doing. That's why this is serious. People, that's why this is so serious. People like us, who fight for a mission, who own mission, who fight for a cause, gonna always be misperceived. Don't worry about that. Keep it moving, keep fighting, keep pushing. And God gonna foster the way, pave the way. Give me this much, I'm gonna do this much. Give me this much, I'm changing the world. I guarantee you that. Because you can't say ain't no sellout. It's about this fight, this movement, this struggle. That's my joy, man. Seeing every time them shorties say, big homie, thank you. Thank you, big homie. When I help a brother get a job, and he said, man, thank you. I'm able to take care of my family. I have no resources in terms of monetary resources to help these guys to get employed or even trained. I have resources in terms of the relations I make as a result of touching people, turning over damn tables and talking to people, speaking truth to power. I'm able to position myself to do something for others, you know. So that's what I bring to the table until God bless me with the resources to do more. And you're going to see it instantly when I get it. And that's when you're going to know, man. You're going to know that to whom much is given, much is required. So with that being said, may God continue to bless you all, family. I thank you all for tuning in. That's Facebook Live, in case y'all haven't done it yet. Go to my YouTube channel and tune in to my YouTube channel, subscribe and share. I left the link on there. So real quick, before I go, I got a few questions on here I need to answer. Everyone else will survive. Salute to my brother with touch. Okay. Then he said, Muhammad, why they take our people, put them along with our family and loved ones and say they die. It's better fight to live when you have your loved ones around. That's right. Ain't no question about it. As long as you truly believe you can overcome anything, that's right. Your knowledge and determination is your resource. Thank you. We love we love you and what you do. God bless you. Thank you. I love you all as well. So let's continue to share and look out for one another. Check in, people. Check in. So with that being said, I'm out and I'll be back in a day or so, maybe tomorrow, maybe not, maybe in a couple of days. So thank you as well, Debbie Carter. God bless you. So may God continue to bless you. Ty, I see you, Ty. Thank you all for tuning in.